Well, Vehbi Baysan joins me now. He's an associate professor of history at Ibn Haldun University. Thanks so much for being with us. You know, it's been almost 200 years now since the end of the Ottoman Empire in Greece, yet it seems like Greeks still associate any mosque, or any Muslim for that matter, liable for that history.
Well, indeed. I think what's important to underline here is Greece and the other Western countries that actually in the heart of civilized world, where you would think that the culture of living together would be dominant. But unfortunately, it's not. It's not. I mean, prejudice against Muslims, the Islamophobia is quite widespread in Europe, but also against Jews and also other minorities. So therefore, I think these things should be underlined, because there are some criticism, maybe we'll talk a bit about it, is the opening of Hagia Sophia. But these kind of structures, anyone visiting Istanbul would have the chance and the privilege and pleasure to see many of the brilliant, architecturally brilliant monuments, monasteries, churches all around Istanbul, because although predominantly Muslim Ottoman Empire, probably we didn't have this many people going to these churches, but nevertheless, by just putting minaret beside it, convert them into a mosque, but they still kept the shape of the churches. So I think what's important here is the demonstration of the living together culture. This is like a mosaic, everyone keeping their way of prayer, keeping their places of prayer, and also yet managing to live together. I think that is what lacks at the moment, particularly in Greece, because there are opposition in that one. But if you ask them, what bothers you with people praying somewhere, what's the harm? Probably they wouldn't be able to explain it fully. But these things are getting more and more in strong feelings, hard feelings in these countries, which should change. I very much hope that.
Right, but why hasn't the EU put more pressure on Athens to at least allow mosques to open in the capital city, where there is a significant Muslim population? Because it seems as just outright discrimination that breaks EU law.
Well, indeed. So when it comes to these kind of topics, it's not only mosques or prayers of worship, but also same problem Muslims facing, in particular in Greece, but in general in the EU, the graveyards. I mean, there are certain traditions, certain way of handling our ancestors or their fathers, etc. But there's no designated area. It's still a big problem. So it is a very curious issue. When you look at the EU decision makers' CV and the way they are educated, really quite sparkling, shiny CVs. But yet, when it comes to certain issues, I'm sorry to say, but they really have short-sighted and not really accepting other cultures, other religions, other faiths. It's very curious. I mean, I personally very much thought about this lately, but unfortunately, there's no answer for it, because why should anyone praying anyway or any place should bother me as in the heart of civilized Europe, in the heart of kind of institutions which dominate Western culture? I mean, I personally don't have an answer, but hopefully, EU would do something to create awareness of the living together culture, respect another religions, faith, and different ways of living.
You know, you mentioned the Hagia Sophia issue. Help us understand what Turkey really wants the world to understand about reconverting it back into a mosque. It hadn't been used as a church for hundreds and hundreds of years. The structure will remain the same, only that people will be able to pray there, as they were able for hundreds of years before its conversion in 1930. Why is that more being portrayed in some international press outlets as some kind of discrimination against Christians while the issue in Athens isn't portrayed at all in the international press?
I think it may have some historic background to it, but I personally see converting back Hagia Sophia to a mosque is reassigning the function to the building. It's extremely important because when Istanbul was taken in 1453, Ottoman Sultan did not really need the place. He could have built the mosque for himself. It's not. It's basically by converting it to a mosque, he demonstrated thoroughly the appreciation of such monumental building. And he wanted the forthcoming generations to also appreciate and enjoy by looking at it and getting into it. So therefore, the Hagia Sophia served until 1934 as a mosque. So this did not bother the Christian minorities in the country all in these centuries. And they used to also go in and visit it as tourists today do, Süleymaniye Mosque or Blue Mosque. So, and we also have many other monasteries scattered all around Istanbul, old Istanbul rather. And again, they kept same physical shape, and even the restorations were so meticulously done to keep the same atmosphere as in the 8th and 9th centuries. I think we should look at it into appreciation of a culture. They didn't say this is not our culture. They did not say this is a Christian and we are Muslims. They simply, in my view, by keeping these monumental buildings and also a lot of synagogues, it was a clear message to also Muslims. We are globally connected, and we should live together this way.
Okay. Vehbi Baysan, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us.